The night the glass tower went dark, everyone assumed the story of the powerful woman inside it was over. What no one knew was that the end of her empire would begin the moment two small hands tugged at her coat, stopping her from walking away from life itself. If you stay until the end of this story, you'll understand how a few seconds can undo years of loss and rebuild a heart that had forgotten how to beat with hope. She had once been the kind of woman people whispered about in elevators, the youngest female CEO in the city, sharp-minded, fearless, always 10 steps ahead. Her office sat at the top floor, walls of glass overlooking a city she believed she controlled. She worked while others slept, negotiated while others hesitated, and trusted no one but herself. Success had demanded sacrifices, and she paid them willingly. Friendships, family, love, even rest. Winning became her identity. But success is loyal only to those it hasn't tested yet. A sudden market collapse, a betrayal from a partner she had promoted like family, and one bad decision made under pressure wiped out everything she built. Investors vanished overnight, the board turned cold, lawsuits piled up like unopened letters of regret. In less than a year, she went from being admired to being avoided. The same people who once waited weeks to see her now crossed the street to avoid eye contact. She sold the penthouse, then the car, then the things that carried memories she no longer wanted to feel. Eventually, she lost the building too, the very tower that had crowned her success. On her final day there, she stayed late, not because she had work to finish, but because she didn't know where else to go. The office was empty, echoes replacing applause. That's when she noticed him. He had always been there, quietly cleaning, never interrupting meetings, never speaking unless spoken to. The janitor, a middle-aged man with tired eyes and gentle hands. She realized with a bitter twist that she didn't even know his name, despite passing him every day for years. That night he was mopping near her office, humming softly, a sound so out of place in her collapsing world that it almost irritated her. She snapped at him, not out of cruelty, but exhaustion. He apologized immediately, lowered his eyes and moved away. Guilt hit her harder than any boardroom defeat. For the first time in months, she felt ashamed, not of losing money, but of losing humanity. As she walked toward the elevator, her phone buzzed with another rejection email. No job offer, no mercy, just silence. Her chest tightened, the walls fell closer. She stepped outside the building, rain pouring like the city itself was mourning her fall. That's when she heard laughter, light, fearless laughter that cut through the storm. Two little girls were spinning in the rain near the entrance, shoes soaked, hair plastered to their faces, laughing as if the world had never hurt anyone. The janitor rushed after them, apologizing to her instinctively, panic in his voice. "I'm sorry, ma'am, they don't listen." She was about to wave him off to disappear into the night when one of the girls looked up at her. Big eyes, curious, unafraid. She reached out and grabbed the CEO's coat sleeve. "Why are you crying?" the child asked, blunt and honest. The question shattered her. She hadn't realized tears were falling. She opened her mouth, but no answer came. The second girl hugged her leg without permission, warm and real and grounding. "It's okay," she said softly, like someone who had practiced saying it. "My daddy says bad days are just days that don't know they're going to get better." In that second, something inside the woman broke open. Not pain, release. She knelt there in the rain, a former CEO being comforted by two children who owned nothing but joy. She laughed through tears, a sound she hadn't made in years. The janitor tried to pull them back, embarrassed, but she stopped him. "It's okay," she said, and for the first time in a long time, she meant it. That moment didn't fix her life. It didn't bring back her company or her wealth, but it stopped her from giving up. And sometimes, that's the most important miracle of all. What happened next would prove that the smallest connections can create the greatest transformations, and that the people we overlook often carry the answers we've been searching for all along. Weeks passed. She took a modest consulting job far from the spotlight. Pride burned every morning, but she showed up anyway. One evening, as she left the building, she saw the same janitor again, this time in a different place. He was struggling with paperwork, worry etched into his face. She hesitated, then asked if he needed help. He looked shocked. No executive had ever asked him that before. Slowly, he told her his story. Widowed, 2 twin daughters, medical bills, 2 jobs, no safety net. He cleaned offices at night and warehouses by day. His biggest fear wasn't poverty, it was failing his girls. As he spoke, she noticed how he calculated every word, every expense, every risk. There was intelligence there, discipline, integrity, things she had once valued more than profit. She started helping him with forms, budgeting, small advice at first, then bigger things. She realized he had ideas, smart ones, about efficiency, logistics, people, ideas no one had ever listened to because of his uniform. She saw herself in him, stripped of titles, and she saw what she could have become if someone hadn't given her a chance long ago. Using what little influence she still had, she helped him secure a better job, facility management. Training followed, growth followed. His confidence grew quietly, steadily. The twins would sometimes wait outside after work, waving when they saw her. They called her auntie, a word that warmed parts of her she thought were gone forever. Helping them didn't just change their lives, it healed hers. She began to understand that leadership wasn't about standing at the top. It was about lifting from the bottom. That success without compassion was just another form of failure. Months later, an old contact reached out. A new company, a second chance. This time, she negotiated differently. She built a business rooted in ethics, inclusion, and opportunity. She hired people others ignored. She listened more than she spoke. The company grew, not explosively, but sustainably, strong, human. On opening day of the new office, she invited the janitor, now a manager, and his daughters. She gave him a plaque not for loyalty, but for reminding her who she was before the world hardened her. The girls ran through the halls laughing, just like that night in the rain. As she looked around, she realized she hadn't lost everything back then. She had lost what didn't matter, so she could finally find what did. And if you're watching this feeling broken, overlooked, or one step away from giving up, remember this. Sometimes your life doesn't change when you climb higher. It changes when you kneel low enough to be touched by grace. One moment, one connection, one unexpected hand reaching for yours. Stay open. Your seconds are coming.